want to meet
Come
Cutty's
here,
brother.
man.
Come on,
It's one of my
man.
boys.
Get up on in here and meet Pauly T, bro.
Exactly.
Hey, that's my guy. Come on, man. How you doing, my bro? How you doing? It's a pleasure to meet you, my guy. What's your name, man?
Ash.
Ash. Hi, Ash.
Yeah.
I'm Pauly. Nice to meet you, brother. I
Meet
don't know
you.
if you're aware of the gig here, but me and Cutty been checking in with each other for the last couple of weeks, and we do this show Plugged In. It's a cultural exchange. I just tell him about Ireland, about growing up over here and stuff, and he tells me what it's like to be a young black man in America today, and it's been really interesting. And he's a lovely guy, and the people over here are really interested in. I think our little show is starting to get a little bit of traction, and because I think
Where?
it brings something really good to the table.
Yeah, Ireland.
Ireland's
Huh.
in Dublin, bro. Dublin,
Dublin.
Ireland. Yeah, man. Yeah. So Ash, is that your apartment where Cuddy just be hanging out? It's a nice place, bro. He gave me a little tour there. I asked him just to see his environment. And it's a nice
Thanks,
little.
man.
So you're also obviously you're also Virginian.
Yep.
And did you move up to Maine like before Cuddy and he came up after you, or the other way
Yep.
around? Or yeah.
Yep.
How do you find it, brother? How do you find it up over there?
How did I end up here, or
Well, how do you find it up north, coming from Virginia, say?
it's
How do you
different?
find it? Yeah,
It's way different. You know, it's first thing is culture shock.
for sure.
You know, but because we moved up north
Yes.
before. You know, so we lived
Oh, the whole
like
family did.
yeah, we
Okay. Okay.
lived in you know, like the woods for hunting and
Right.
like fresh city kids out of the city into the wilderness.
Hey, that was a big enough shock, wasn't it? That wasn't just like moving to a different neighborhood. It was a different lifestyle.
Yeah, everything, you know.
Yeah, man.
Hey, one thing I always joke about, right? And my family will say this too, but when we came to Maine, one of the first crazy things we saw was like an outline of, it was either a shaved bear or
Wow.
something. Like we weren't too sure, but I don't know if you ever seen a bear shaved. It looked like a person's body.
Bro, was it a Bigfoot? Are you sure it wasn't a Bigfoot?
No, it was it was hanging from a tree, whatever it was, fully shaved,
Okay.
hanging from a tree.
Wow. No, I ain't never seen one of those, but it sounds really weird.
Yeah, so like this like, you know, we land in Maine. Well, we drove all the way,
Yeah.
but we're driving, and one of the first things we see out in the wilderness where we'll be staying is my dad said it's a bear, but my dad was new here too, so what's he know, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, that's a bear, you know. We're driving and pointing at it, and we're like, what is that, you know?
Yeah. I'm beginning to wonder if it was a Bigfoot.
You know,
And your
hey,
poor
the worst
father
part
was like,
out
oh,
here,
it's a bear. It's a bear.
you know, in Maine, it wouldn't be a Bigfoot. It'd be somebody's relative.
Okay. Oh, that's even more sinister, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, Ash, what do you do yourself, bro? Are you working out up there? Are you working?
Yeah, I'm a home healthcare provider. So I work for Grand Rounds, which is a healthcare service.
Okay.
And what we do is we work with sick patients or hurt patients of any type. And what we do is, like, I find them healthcare. So I might call different doctors and things, you know, for
Yes.
them, and do all the work you would do for yourself, like send them records, collect
Oh,
your
good man. Yeah.
paperwork, schedule your appointment. I do that for, like, no joke, like 200 people. I got
Wow.
200.
And tell me, bro, during the pandemic, did your job routine or role change in any way dramatically because of different?
You mean since COVID or just period? Does it change?
No, just since COVID. I just wondered what was it like working in the health industry? Did it change much? Or?
The thing is, so I never saw patients in person, and at first I worked in the office, but since the COVID outbreak in March, we ended up working from home. So I work from home every day on my computer, you know. And
Right.
the one thing about the healthcare field that I'm in is we don't get considered healthcare. It's weird because I don't actually provide healthcare. I'm
Okay.
like the middleman
You
between
just link them up.
healthcare service.
Yes,
Huh?
you just link them up with the healthcare.
Right.
I
And
got you.
so all the benefits you get for being it, like what they call it,
A healthcare
not
worker.
efficient, but like essential
Essential
employees
worker. Yes. Yes.
work from home every single day. Monday through Friday, still
Right.
helping out, doing what we consider to be healthcare to not be considered essential.
I understand, bro, but yet you are an essential cog in getting the supplies and getting the people in the right direction for the services, I guess.
Yeah, because it's not just healthcare, right? It's also like your mental health. So like I'm working with people who have mental health issues too. And you can imagine everything went up during COVID. One thing they told us, right, was so I work, like I said, mental health, behavioral health. I find psychologists, counselors, all types of stuff.
Very
You got to
interesting.
think that with like COVID, more people being trapped in the house leads to more like behavioral health issues. You know what I mean?
Yes, brother. And listen, do you identify with this statement? Over here, the suicide rate is through the roof, bro, and it's not in the newspapers. I'm just hearing this from friends of mine.
Oh yeah,
who work in the
COVID got a lot to do with that. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. Friends of mine that work in the health service, that would say it's one of the big secrets that mental health issues and the suicide rate is dramatically.
Oh, because you got to think, right? Being cut off from your family, your friends, being stuck.
Oh, I know. It's a global problem, bro. It's a global problem.
Everything's increased, so it's not just mental health, right, and things like that. It's also domestic abuse has increased.
Yes,
husbands home with their wives.
There's no distractions. There's no club to go to, no strip club to go to. Because he was telling me that the strip club over there, I guess it's a place all the guys go to unwind, but that's not open now. What do? You're at home with your missus, and you're starting to get on each other's nerves. The kids are there. There's nowhere to go out. There's less money because there's less money coming into the family. So there's high tension. And
hey, you get a chance to look at it. Look at the amount of teachers who work online with these kids and have witnessed like that kind of abuse from the family. You know, whoever's doing it doesn't realize the kid is in the middle of a school meeting, and all of a sudden the teacher in the classroom is watching what goes on a normal basis.
Wow, has that become a big thing over there? That a lot of things got exposed like this, did they?
Yeah. Oh, wow. But you know what though? It only put a light onto it. You know, it happens.
It's happening anyway, and it's no doubt, Ash, it's happening here too, brother. I have no doubt about it. This is a human problem, not a black problem, not a white problem, not an American problem. It's a human problem, like every other fucking problem in the world. They're human problems. They're not really race problems. They're not religious problems. When we look behind it, and don't get me wrong, guys, that's not to say I'm not belittling how or in any way undermining how unfairly your culture has been treated by these what we would call these Caucasian or European Americans, especially in the last 100 years. But I do believe today our real salvation as human beings lies in unity and understanding of each other and forgiveness. And
you want to know something, man?
You know what I mean, bro? Because I do know there's some great black leaders in the black conscious community at the moment, but they're promoting a kind of division. They're saying, you know, we have to do our own thing, like, you know, like young Pharaoh and that. You know, do you know young Pharaoh?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can have a little chat about him sometime. Very interesting guy. Shout out to young Pharaoh. I'm a fan. I have great respect for him. What a tuned in young man with great insight and everything. Yeah. But I would love to great insight and respect. A really tuned in guy. I actually way younger than me, but he's the kind of guy, man. I know when I'm sitting in the presence of truth, you know, I stop and I listen. And let me just say, that's not to say I believe all the conspiracy theory. And look, it's just I'm an older guy, got my own opinion on that. But what I like from the guy is he stands in his own truth. And that's what is attractive about young Pharaoh and what he brings to the table. He brings not all his facts may be 100% correct, but they're all rooted in truth. And I do certainly believe he speaks in his own truth, and he does good research, and he's a very intelligent young man and has good charisma. Great leader he would make if he had the right cause behind him. But I would push more, just as a human being that's lived 58 years almost on this earth, I would push more for unity. That's what we need for healing. Would you guys agree on that? Or can I throw in any opinion right now, lads, because you have the floor for a minute, just on that topic, if you will.
So just, man, you know, one of the things I wanted your opinion on too, man, is you know, you see all these rappers, a drug that also not really being talked about.
Yeah,
it's almost being glamorized.
The lean and the Percocet.
Lean.
Lean and Percocet, I believe, is
Do
another
you
one.
have lean in Ireland?
No, they just go for straight heroin over here. You know?
Damn.
Yeah, I know. But lean,
Damn.
I know what lean is just from the rap music. It's a cough syrup that they have with some soda, you know? And they
Right.
double cup it, bro. They double cup
Double
that
cup
bitch. Am I right? 2
Double cup
styrofoams. I never seen Nipsey Hussle with 1 styrofoam. He double cupping, bro, all the time.
And you wouldn't. What's Nipsey? All he needed was some weed.
I know. Poor old Nipsey, man. All the good young talent that got taken away from the music scene.
That shit crazy as a motherfucker, man.
It sure is. It sure is, boys.
I wish Chicago music never would have came out, man. I wish nobody would have never showed Chicago.
I'm very surprised at Little Durk, bro. Did you see his
Not to
recent
hate on
tracks?
them.
I'm not hating on the guy.
It
but
just seemed like, yeah, a little dirt the situation, man, and then
his brother got it
trying to
over.
think some cop had something to do with it, man.
Man, did you see his brother D-Tan got whacked there the other day? God bless him, you know, young man out at the club. And I don't know if it's true or not, but the American bloggers are trying to make out that it was because Duck had been dissing Durk, or Dirk had been dissing Duck. I don't know, man.
They would say that. They would say that, but at the same time, that shit been going back and forth, man. They want to blame it on the first motherfucker that died on each side. You can blame it on that, man.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of these bloggers. They say anything for the fucking views, man. I mean, and I ain't mad at them because if the motherfuckers won't doing stupid shit, they won't give them no opportunity to talk about anything. It'd be hard for them to come up with something. But I ain't mad at these bloggers for saying that. At the same time, it's crazy. At the same time,
it's hard to
gotta watch FBG Duck mom's interview.
Oh, Mama Duck. Yeah.
So she put out an interview after D thing got shot, and she went off. She went off. She said, "Y'all have no respect for me." She said, all that I'm out here trying to do and get straightened out and trying to help everybody out, and y'all see what I'm doing. And she said, "Y'all out here talking about y'all smoking on D thing." She's like, "Y'all don't have no respect for me or for my son." She's like, "He's trying to end that. I'm trying to end that right now." She's been doing a lot as far as talking and being vocal about it because they given her a platform to really talk about like her son and all the kids, because apparently all the mothers in Chicago know each other.
Yes.
And so
actually, I saw a video watch with she hooked up with Tucker's mom and one of the other kids' moms, and they were going around, and I thought that was a really positive thing they were doing. This was the real hurt behind all these scandals and these, he got shot, he got whacked, he got this, and this is the real truth, the family and what's left behind.
Trying to stop it.
The mom.
Shout out to the mom.
Yeah, a big shout out to those moms over there. A big shout out to them, and any mom that suffered from violence. Over here too.
I want to say something too while we on that topic right now.
Say it, bro.
From Ireland to USA, USA to Ireland, all mothers, don't wait till your son's dead to step up and try to make a change. Yeah. You see these mothers doing it, they had to go through something and lose somebody a few times. It takes a lot of ambition and courage to go out to do something like that, man. Shout out to those moms, man.
For sure, bro. Absolutely. And I'll echo all of that, bro. That's a good sentiment. It's positive. And
I don't know if she, like FBG Duck inspired her to do something after he passed, because before that, she already had lost like 2 sons, 3 sons. So it's like, at what point do you do what you're doing now, or at what point do you move kids? And I know that's easy to say, but
bro, at this stage, can you imagine if that woman didn't do this? She probably would have all that hurt. She would have been carrying all of that and never been able to express it. Maybe she has to do what she's doing. Maybe she feels compelled to. God bless her, losing 3 sons. It's not right, bro. It's not right. 3 separate instances, 3 sons, and whatever about, I know Duck was very disrespectful in some of his tunes. We got to say that. But as Cutty pointed out in one of the interviews, Duck also paid homage to his ops, and he knew that, look, he also said in one of his songs, she says, in that song's Dead Bitches, he goes, we've already been in hell since 12, we've been demons. And that's no true. He was aware that they'd already given their souls up. And it's such an honest song and such a powerful, emotive song. I don't like
hell, but since 12 we've been demons.
Demons, yes, bro. That wasn't lost to me when I heard that, man. Whoa, it touched me right inside. And I just thought, oh my God, those poor kids. And it's so true. They
So,
get,
so let me ask you, what kind of content do y'all talk about?
well,
Anything?
bro, let me tell you, bro, Ash, cold turkey. I'm only doing it since February, but it's it's about redemption. My channel. It's about anything redemption. So I do a thing. I have interviewed homeless people and people out of addiction, people who are doing very well, and people who've come out of prison. Anything where a man feels redeemed and he's trying to live a better life. So I do a crypto show called Crypto Buzz. I do interviews with homeless. I got involved with a charity and we did up a fella's place. That's my latest video on cold turkey. I'm doing this is called Plugged In. I do this with Cutty once every 10 days or so. We drop a video. And people are starting to get interested in it now. They're showing, hey, what is this about? And they're checking in with it. And I do basically I set this channel up in February with a goal to kind of do a show or a channel that has different shows in it that enhance life and that bring people together, bro.
Yeah. Hey man, fixing everything, and it really starts with like looking at your own people, right? So
You're so right, bro.
Weirdly enough, right? So y'all gotta stick with me.
Yeah.
I've been watching this show called The Underground Railroad, right? I don't know if you've seen it, but it's on TV, it's on Hulu. And of course it's about like slaves and old school stuff like that.
Yes, bro.
And I don't know if that stuff is it. All right. So I got a mixed daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot, as a dad, you think about what they might go through and what they might not go through, and then what you should expose them to before they get exposed to it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
sure, bro. Mm-hmm.
So
why? Because you think that because them being mixed, they
Yeah,
gotta walk a certain lane.
yeah, well, they still have to worry about stuff because you don't want the first time they run into a situation where it's about color be when they run into the situation. Right. So you got to explain to your kids, like, listen, not everybody's gonna take to you and call you pretty. Some people gonna hate you. They gonna look past, like, it's gonna be a different experience when you when it happens.
I understand. Yes, you have to make them aware of the realities of
right. And it's sad that you got to do that because my daughter 8 years old, but you got the sooner the better. I guess, right? I don't know. But here, the thing about this show got me thinking is slavery was 1,200 years ago, right? But the effects that it has are long lasting. Now I said to fix things, you got to look between your own people, right? Check this out.
Well, then
listen. As harsh as this is, Black people have to look at something about ourselves, and there are a few things that I noticed, right, from watching this show that we still carry on in today's world. You ready for this?
Yeah, bro. You should give it to us.
Whipping our own kids is not something that we thought of on our own. It was a form of us being punished that we adapted in our own, like,
right.
You know what I mean? Our own culture.
Yes, brother. Yeah.
No other culture does that, right? Like. I'm sure they discipline their kids and they beat their kids, but our culture adapted to how master used to punish us. Wow. That's the weirdest shit ever. We now go out and make our kids go pick a whip so that we can punish them the way that we were punished a long time ago, and we think that shit is okay, bro.
Wow, bro.
Like,
oh, man. I mean,
I never thought of that, bro. Thank you for that. That was brutally honest and very.
You know
insightful.
what I mean? Like that.
I get it. I get it. And why would we expect more? Sorry, bro.
I want to say something else on that too.
Yes.
Slavery is already the reason why we hate each other.
That's another thing.
America, you want to talk about, wow, you talking about, I heard people say all the time, these people, they just have their opinions, and I respect everybody's opinion. It's like an asshole. I'll wipe my own. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But what I meant to say is, these people be like, oh, so they get mad about cops killing cops. I mean, white cops killing black people, but they're killing each other. Look, I say this, and they stand there with a question mark with their fucking arms open, and why? And I'm like, dude, the reason why, motherfucker, we're killing each other because y'all already taught us to fucking hate each other since we was on the fucking plantation, that our skin color was fucking ugly, that some people is fucking better than us. Even to this fucking day.
It's another one.
I don't want nothing for these motherfuckers, but why they get the Indians shit when we ain't fucking asked to fucking come here on this fucking land too? And we work like a motherfucking dog. building this whole fucking our ancestors and shit worked like a motherfucking dog. And now I don't want nothing, but I'm saying I feel like black people is owed something, dude. Like we owe
Yes, bro.
something.
I think so too, man. Fuck that. When you think that, when you put it out like that, I would just wonder how conscious is white America that they have damaged the black psyche.
But
They have damaged the black psyche, haven't they? The black sense of
add on
self.
more to what you saying and what you saying, another thing that I'm strictly at this point, I feel like we gotta fix our issues between us before we ask the rest of America to fix our issues.
Oh, Ash, I agree. Come here. I agree.
Look how much chaos that would.
But just
It, man,
let
they don't
me
want to see black
just
people
say one
come up,
thing.
man.
But-
They don't.
But what I'm saying is, right,
Yeah, go on.
even like you said, taught things that were taught to us on a plantation, right?
Mm.
Another thing that we still carry on heavy in our own environment that is terrible is the fact that lighter skin is better than darker skin.
Yep.
The lighter
Oh,
skin
man.
girls are prettier, that kind of stuff.
Is
It's
that the
faded.
general consensus with black men?
Huh?
Is that the general thinking of black men that
I
they
wouldn't
prefer
know.
lighter skinned women?
I wouldn't say that's the general
I
consensus.
feel like
Look, I'm gonna tell you, when we was kids though, growing up as young dark-skinned males, we weren't the most popular thing walking around. The lighter skinned guys, the
Really?
lighter skinned girls,
yep.
and in this
I
day,
think that's
you hear
changing,
people
lads.
talking about how pretty this black skin is, but when
Hey,
we
they
was
love it
growing up,
now. These
Right.
days, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm just taking the tempo at the moment over there. It seems to be access all areas for anybody, right?
But at the time,
And-
and that's because
But
the
you guys are
media,
old enough to remember though a
all
time
that shit.
when
All the rappers, all the entertainers were very light skinned too. Man,
Yes.
they weren't really promoting nobody that was.
But look
really
at now,
like,
lads.
like
Look at now, lads. The likes of Kodak Black and these high Asian guys that are really dark skinned. They're so popular over here in Europe, and they're looked upon as beautiful young men by young European women. And all.
but in our own environment, it wasn't always the case, and that's
I understand
another
that.
thing.
I do get
So
that.
you got to think, right? The lighter skins took care of the inside of the house. They took care of the kids. The
Right.
masters raped them, right? But to the slaves out in the field working hard every day, bending their back, messing
Yes.
up their fingers, picking cotton, they also began to grow a hate for the lighter skin. Why is she in the house?
Okay,
Why
okay.
does she not have to come out here and work? So as time evolves, right?
See,
They're
man,
looking-
this is the thing that white people have no idea of. This is very interesting, bro.
Exactly.
Talking
And that's the
about-
stuff I be thinking about. It's
Keep
like,
listening,
you don't
white
even know
people,
the
keep
effect.
listening.
When you say get over slavery, get over it. It was 1,200 years ago. The
Oh,
type
shit.
of psychology that it has like continued to travel, right?
Yes,
Even
bro.
maybe hating the police, right? I thought about this. Even hating the police is a taught behavior. Yes, the police did a lot of things to us in the past, but where our kids don't know anything harsh the police have ever done, right? They would only learn that from us and
Yes.
from other experiences. But imagine if we taught our kids right now to hate the police and they grew up like that with no bad experience. That's like teaching racism.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo,
And
so
Ash,
why you hate them
sorry.
but hate them?
Yeah, and Ash, I want to make this point though, because it's very important. Man, I hear you, and it's never been put to me like that before. But it has never, and I doubt a lot of white people have heard that kind of argument. But you make a great point, and it's very valid. And I want to say something. I know. Just want to say something on this, though. That from my own personal perspective, man, I absolutely agree. I think the best thing for your community is if you guys were policing yourselves, because you guys understand yourselves better. I do believe that. Now, but I do believe in unity. But I think the first thing is exactly what you said, Ash. We got to make our own. We got to make our own community right first, and then we go for the integration. But that includes we got to police our own communities, not rely on the white police. You need to. What should be done is they should set up a black community police force in every big black hood, and it should be just men that want to make a difference. And they should do the work. It should be a community volunteer organization, but they should do the work of the police. And then there would be no need for the police to come in. These would be the guys to negotiate between gang fights, all that type of thing, because they'd be from the hood and they'd be just doing a positive thing. And they could police their own areas, and the police could kick back a little and let these people deal with their own things. And that would make the community better and more strong. I really believe that. We will never get an equality or an acceptance or a unity if we're sending in all these white police into these black neighborhoods because they're full of fear as well. And they don't know how if they're going to be shot and everything. So they go in very aggressive because they believe all the propaganda. So it's not going to help. We need the black people to police themselves, and we need white people to police themselves, and we need representatives, good representatives of both of them to come together. Then we can
because if at least if they're not going to do that, right, one thing that they should do is take a black urban officer with a white officer who has no experience.
Man, absolutely, bro. That should be the
minimum. Familiar with it, you know, because he has to learn how to deal with us, and it has 100%. To be vice versa.
Because he's trying to get in there. Go on, Cutty, you have the floor.
I posted this video on my story the other day. This black cop pulling up to the hood sheriff even.
Right.
And doing a slam dunk for the whole you know, for the whole community, in front of the whole community, man.
Yes.
But that was some amazing shit, man.
Yeah, stuff like that, bring it together. But yo, in Lewiston, where we live, I ride down here to Kennedy Park on my bike sometimes, and I see the cops out there talking to all the little Somalian kids, because we have like a bunch of different refugees and things.
Okay.
And sometimes the little Somalian kids are lined up around the car, the officer just having a good conversation with them. And I think to myself, that'd be the stuff that you'll never see on video. You know, it like.
I wish people would film that stuff too, because they're very quick to pull out their cameras when there's some.
When something bad happens with these kids and these officers, that's gonna be the first time you see a camera go out. Nobody recording them doing, you know, talking to the community, familiarizing themselves with the kids.
But I think if we were policing ourselves, we could have that more familiar vibe. Like if all these guys from the hood and they see the police, but the police are only like one of their fathers, one of their uncles, one of their neighbors, and they come down and say, "Hey lads, everything okay here?" Say, "Yeah, we're just doing this, that." Okay, guys, stay cool, be good. You know, and the people felt secure with their own neighborhood police. It just makes sense, guys, doesn't it? It just makes sense. It does. That's what we need to do, guys. We need to bring common sense to this fucking planet, because there's a lot, you know, it's just sometimes the solutions are so simple and they're just in front of our face, but tradition and stuff has us locked in this fucking past where we think we can't get up. But in saying that, I want to say this, Ash, as well. But don't for any minute, brother, think that I would ever undermine or underestimate the great damage that it has done, that slavery has done to the black race in America, man. I absolutely get it, brother. And the reverberations are going to be in your DNA for that. Because as Irish people, we have that same thing, bro. We were, for 800 years, bro. 800 years the English were here, bro. You couldn't have a horse worth more than £5 only 100 years ago, bro. You couldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
So we were repressed. Many Irish people died because they were Catholics, and not because they weren't Protestants.
Look, and the Irish built the Intercontinental Railroad, didn't they?
They sure did, with the Chinese, bro. Us and the Chinese. Yeah, we did that, bro. And they used to call us the blacks of Europe. That's the truth, because they did. Treated us like we were less than. And I just want to say that's in our DNA, bro, today. And that's why, as Irish people, we have a sort of an inherent empathy with American black people. We have an inherent in our DNA, bro, because we were with them. There's even if you look, there's even in one of the Jamaican islands, there's a whole clan of black people with Irish names that carry on Irish traditions, because they were together. They were intermixed with some of the Irish slaves of the time, and they interbred and intermarried. But there's a whole, today they're like, these are really dark-skinned black people and they have Irish words and Irish culture, and they've adopted that as part of their heritage. They celebrate St. Patrick's Day in a very big way. It's a very interesting video I saw about that little that little community. But
you find out what it's called, send it to my bro, because I
certainly will. I certainly will, brother. And just to say, it's been a real pleasure and an extra bonus for us here in Culture to have met yourself, Cutty's brother. Who's the oldest, guys?
You too, man.
Who's the older dude? You're the oldest, Adrian. Yeah. I hope you're schooling your young bro in a good way, showing him good moral spirit and everything. I'm sure you are, bro. It's really nice to meet you, Ashley. And you make a very good you make a very good point on behalf of your whole community, bro, on behalf of black people in general. I think a very valid point, and I hope some people give some thought to what you said there, bro, and then get a bit of understanding for why things are like they are. And
like I'm vocal about stuff like that. I got friends, me and them chop about like random stuff like that, but
white, black,
you know.
Yes, bro. Yeah, bro.
We love everybody, man. Honestly, man. You know what I'm saying? And we and there it feel good to see that some people do got our back. You know what I mean? Even if
Absolutely,
they got
bro.
white or whatever. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
my guy. Yeah.
When you see people over here that that
Oh, don't
understand some of the
underestimate that,
things that we
guys.
go through.
Don't underestimate that, guys. A lot of us have your back because we understand, bro. We
You
understand
know, so
repression.
I always wonder, like, is it safe for us to travel to places where there aren't a lot of Black people? Because you let me ask you, are there a lot of Black people in Dublin, in
Well,
Ireland?
in the
anywhere?
Yeah.
last 15 years, a lot of Nigerian refugees have settled in the outskirts of Dublin, and it's very similar to some kind of hood vibe. I could show you some videos, even some good rappers starting to come out of there. But I'll tell you guys, yeah, because there's young kids now, they only know Ireland, but they come from Nigeria. They might have been born there or something, but they grew up over here. They speak Irish or English with an Irishy kind of accent, and they have their own kind of culture. It's very interesting. But yeah, so we're seeing a lot more African people here, but we don't understand the culture. They kind of tend to say it themselves, and we say we need to break down that and integrate a bit more, but we need to understand each other a bit more. And you guys are helping with that because it's new for this country, and your voice will help show people, look, we're very much the same. We're human beings trying to have a living experience, but we have to deal with all the social understanding about who we are in this day and age, and we have to get over some of that shit because we're coming into a new age now. And when I say over that shit, I'm not minimizing your guys' struggle. I'm talking about us as human beings. We need to get over ourselves and then look at our community and then look at unity. But first thing starts with ourselves.
No, it
our
does.
own prejudice, our own lack of self-acceptance, all of that. We got to work on that. And when we get somewhere in there, we got something to bring to the table.
Well, so one thing to add to this is exactly how I said about the mindset that carries from 1,200 years of slavery for Blacks. There's a mindset that I'm not aware of that carries for 1,200 years of slavery for whites. I'm just not sure what it is. But if you, like, I assume, right, racist kids or racist guys our age probably have some type of weird, like, carried on racism mentality or something they don't know anything about. They just know it.
Yes, bro.
Even for the people that know about it, does it? I wonder, does it make? Because does it make you? I wonder if it made people who know that at one time white people were almost like dominant over Black people because of slavery. Do they feel like they're still dominant to this day? I wonder if people still feel like, you know what I mean?
They may,
maybe in their unconscious, maybe there are older people in their subconscious. They were brought up racist.
But these younger people,
but I don't think so, unless they've had parents that had that mentality.
Right.
But in my experience, I'm 58 this year, man, I can certainly tell you from my generation, I was born in the 60s, and in 63 I was born. We grew up in the peace and love thing. My generation was never tainted by social opinion. Now, on a personal level, I've heard people having older people having bad comments and things that would not be totally politically incorrect. But it was only always ignorance. They didn't understand.
Right.
They've been told this because they too were uneducated and older from a different time. But certainly from my generation down to what's now, anybody like that, it's usually just the individual who's hateful. Because that stuff is not being promoted today. We're seeing equality. We're seeing the same kind of jobs. You guys could come here and do it. We could work for the government here. There are people working for the government that come from Nigeria 10 years ago. Yeah, you could get civil service jobs. We have a different way of doing things here, bro, in Europe.
Right.
Where you don't have that because we don't have that slaves mentality. We here in Ireland, especially, we were slaves. We were never slave masters over here.
Right.
So, bro, I like to think that us Irish, we treat people on, as Martin Luther King said, the content of their character rather than the color of their skin, bro. A good dude is a good dude, bro. A good dude is a good dude. And as far as I'm concerned, man, I don't care what color he is. If I can rock with any good dude, and what I mean, anyone who's authentic and stands in their truth, bro. And that's why we're plugged in. And Cutty, get in there, Ash, get in there. So, guys, it's been really wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us, Cold Turk. It's been really nice to meet you, Ash. And I hope we'll hear from you again in a future episode. Cutty,
you already know.
I already know, bro. Plugged in, and all right.
Well, then, man.
Boom.